Got a quick one here for you this weekend, folks, so let's pop right into another Starbase summary. Kicking it off with Ship 37 over there waiting at Highway 4. It was going to roll back from Massey's. This says it's ready to roll back from Massey's as per the time of the video. Interesting comment, this is not the next Starship that's supposed to fly. This is a future flight. This is not for Flight 10. I think this one's scheduled for Flight 11. So you see the testing happening over here with Ship 37. And they are not just doing the next flight. They're stacking up the manifest of flights. Some fantastic close-ups from Jack here, getting these awesome high-resolution shots. That was the quick disconnect here, sort of straight on. We're getting a little time-lapse action as well. The colors of the sunset there behind the camera. Also over at Massey's, that's B18.1. Some testing happening at that test jig. See all the vapors of the propellants that they are pumping in and out of that thing as they squeeze and twist and push and pull and whatever it is they were doing to structurally test the heck out of that thing. Here's Booster 16. It is coming out of Megabay 1. I think we're going to change this over and start calling it Megabay A just to switch things up a little bit. Who cares what official documents say? You can see the grid fins there at the top, the upper left-hand corner, doing their little grid fin dance. I think the best thing I've heard on that is visibility. When you turn them like that, they're really obvious where they are from the ground, but also some clearance things as well. Who knows? There's Ship 37 coming all the way back and sneaking over into Megabay B. There you go, behind the booster. Booster moves, ship moves. Megabay B doors open. I don't know how long I can keep that up. Megabay 2. Megabay North. I don't know. Ship in the door there as the booster exits. What is that? Camera left, stage right. I don't actually know which is stage right and left. Help me out down in the comments. Got some nose cones in the factory, partially tiled. There's actually two nose cones here. Look, there's one in the foreground and one that's a little bit taller in the background. They've got some ventilation in there, it looks like, because you can see the flapping underlayment sort of, this almost looks like it's stapled on. Look at the wind there. Now, that's going to be a view into the Megabay. And that sheeting on the side, maybe that's what we're looking at all along here, and that's what the flapping was. The ventilation is the open door. Have the sort of load spreader there at the top, aligning with the top of the ship. Got a little work here in the lift, hanging out, waiting for that huge harness to come down so that it can be guided, goad into position. I don't believe goad is correct, but I think that it works. Attached to the ship. Here's some more prep work for the Gigabay. Got is that a drilling rig? Let's see if it's got a squirrely, screwy bit or if it's got a smashy bit. Does it move fast and drop with gravity, or does it spin in a circle and go slowly? I couldn't tell from that. Got the loader moving some forks around. What you going to pick up? Are we going back to the dumpster? Nope, we turned from the dumpster. All right, we're putting down, I know I saw some work with the sheet piles, the large sort of flat sheets that they hammer into the ground to retain and hold the soil, I guess, in position. But here we got Booster 16. This says rolled to the launch site. With all the work on the Gigabay, they can't exit that main thoroughfare there anymore, so when they exit the production site, they have to go out the assembly yard area, sort of that first gate you see on your left as you're driving into Starbase in the production area with Brownsville behind you. It says Gate A on it there on the sign. See, I can read that myself, that A. But booster rolling out onto the road, has some tests that need to be done. That, of course, coming up later in the video. Here, for now, we see the future rolling down the road, both in terms of the booster that will be on the next flight, hopefully, and the awesome underglow of the SPMTs, the self-propelled modular transporters. I think both Jack and Caesar were out for this one, so here we have Caesar in front of the booster, and I think we had Jack on the back side of the booster, getting it turning out, and then Caesar, I think it's going to pass Caesar here. I don't know if this time Caesar was like running alongside it the entire way. Nope, went past. I like the hitch-mounted light pole. Like they used to drag the little things, and now they have a weird assembly where it just mounts to the trailer hitch. I'm not really sure trailer hitches are supposed to withstand a torsion, like a torque load like that. Clearly they can withstand a torque load from a trailer, but that's why you have a ball, so that you've got some freedom of motion as the trailer rocks side to side, and it doesn't exert all those forces on the hitch or the chuck. Light on a stick is a lot less force than that, I would assume. Looks like a special customization that was welded together back there in the yard. So here we're going to see the booster in the nighttime darkness sneak over in between the chopsticks at pad A1A, Beachfront Avenue or whatever. The whole thing about the numbers, by the way, the guy on the SpaceX webcast, Dan, you see him on the official webcast, he rolled a proverbial water balloon, I don't know, stink bomb into social media and said that this is supposed to be pad 1 and the other pad is supposed to be pad 2. Don't ask me what the pad at Cape Canaveral is called. Don't ask me what happens when you start making more or how all that shakes out. But I would propose this is SBPA. You can't really pronounce that like slick, unfortunately. Or LC sort of rolls off the tongue, and SPB. Yeah, that doesn't really work. Anyways, 1, 2, AB. The official documents still say A and B. Dan, official commentator for SpaceX, says 1 and 2. I don't really have a dog in that fight. Look, it says pad 2. It actually says, according to Dan, down on the bottom of the... That's pad 2B. Or is that now 2A, or is that 2SB, or SB2? And will there be a Cape 1 and a Cape 2? I don't know. SpaceX and naming, how does it work? Going to look back over at the production site once again. Rocket Garden, Booster 17, Booster 12, Ship 20, just sort of holding down concrete over there. Yeah, there's concrete underneath them. There's concrete in little stands. So that's a whole thing. But not a lot going on with them. They're just sort of there for posterity's sake, for prosperity. What do you call the future generation? If posterity is a past generation, no, I guess posterity is the future. Whatever, it's all posterity, all the way down. We've been watching this thing rolling around, the mystery structure. Maybe they'll mount a big fan on it. It's got a work platform sort of thing. The huge pillar in the middle, you can see the ladder going up. What is that, Yavin? Where was the rebel base? And the dude was on top of the little stick, and he had the one little, like, you would just stand it above the trees, and it's like, how does that guy even get up there? Does it fly? Does the whole thing go up and down? Anyways, that's what it sort of looks like if you painted it a different color. Looking back in the Mega Bay, acceptable tangent there. Looking back in the Mega Bay, a lot of tiles. As we get up to the top, we get less tiles. Those joints in between, like the tiling system or the way that the joints sort of are different from the rest of the thing, are really interesting. I don't know if that's for like load purposes or expansion, contraction, etc., etc. Right-hand side of your screen, about in the middle, there you go, barrel section. We don't see many of those anymore. They're still assembling the larger parts of ships and boosters and stuff like that in the massive buildings where they can stack them all up. Star Factory is not tall enough to actually stack a full ship or a booster. And so we still have these rings sort of scooting across the little open area into, this would be at Mega Bay 1. Ah, good times. One day that'll be a Gigabay, and maybe they won't have to go outside. But check this out. You see the humidity in the atmosphere freezing to the outside of the booster over on the launch mount. Ice goes up, ice hangs out, ice goes down. There was no static fire on that first attempt, but they came back the next day. And there you have it. Look at the shock waves in the vapors, in the dust. Fantastic, like the wind. We lucked out with the wind here where the wind wasn't blowing towards us, so we had a clean shot all the way through. Look at the slow motion Jack caught here. Look at the pressure wave going through, and then as the pressure waves hit the vapors, they make the vapors sort of go in and out of visibility. That is an insane interaction. We've got more of this coming up, by the way, and also if you want here, remember, you can switch back over to the other track, go to the little settings wheel, click on the audio tracks, and switch it over to Klingon, and you can hear the sound of this. It's always sort of the director's cut here as I'm talking about, explaining what's in the video, but if you want that original sound, listen to what I have to say about it, and then hop over to the ambient Klingon track. Experimental here. This is not a very expensive camera, but therefore it's a camera we don't mind leaving out on the beach with the salt air 365 days out of the year. We stopped it down. We basically clamped the iris almost as low as it would go without becoming black, and that's what it looks like. Now here's what a real camera looks like. This is one of Dee's actual cameras. I believe this would be a Z-Cam something or other, E2M4, something along those lines. But this is the difference between a real camera with a real lens on it and a camera that we can leave outside 365 days of the year on the beach. You're definitely going to want to scroll this back and listen to the Klingon track. Maybe one day YouTube will have original audio or no commentary or something. You can see, like, mock diamonds in the... There! You see that? Look! Did you see the blue sort of flare up there as the engine started to shut down? We had a couple cameras out for this one. Here is, I believe this is near the turning circle. Wind not cooperating in this direction, but we did have a camera over there recording. You can see this camera took a little bit of water from the deluge. It splashed a bit on the lens of the camera, or I guess the glass outer housing of the camera. It's a bit of a stretch to call it a lens, honestly. Here we are done with the static fire. It looked like it was good. We did get that tweet over on X from SpaceX, and so now you see it being destacked. Destacked? Demounted? I mean, is it really stacking if you just put it on the launch mount? Is that a stack, or do you have to put a ship on top of the booster in order for it to be considered a stack? We'll just stop that there. It's like, what's the deal with... What is... Hits the... Oh, wow! Wait a second. Did the stabilizing pin come out and allow the booster to swing freely? Look at that! That's not great. Well, we're going to have to see how that affects the flight schedule there. Maybe no problem at all. Maybe what it booped against, or maybe it just came to a rest and didn't really actually hit anything. That sudden stop does make me think that it bapped the side of the transport stand, but I guess we'll see as the schedules start to come out for Flight 10. In any event, here you go, Starbase summary. Thanks for watching, y'all, and we will see you nerds later.